What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Prosecutors have arraigned former Taipei Mayor Wen-je after 5 days in detention. Prosecutors are investigating a graft case that involves Ke and 4 other suspects. Prosecutors say they took bribes to help raise the property value of a shopping mall construction project. Ke was initially released without bail last week, but was rearrested and held incommunicado. He says he did nothing wrong. Taiwan's defense ministry has earmarked funds to buy an advanced electronic warfare upgrade for new F16V fighter jets on order. The defense ministry says it will spend over $1.3 billion to secure the next generation equipment known as Viper Shield. US-based manufacturer L3 Harris described the system as a virtual electronic shield with offensive electronic warfare capabilities. Taiwan has purchased 66 new F-16Vs from the U.S. and expects to get the first 2 jets by the end of this year. Taiwan has announced plans to develop a new fleet of domestically made patrol vessels for its Coast Guard. The government has set aside more than $400 million for the 6 ships to be built over the next decade. The first of these is in production and set to be launched in 2026. The vessels will be equipped with advanced weapon systems and will be used to patrol Taiwan's waters and support the country's distant water fisheries. Authorities in northern Taiwan are holding an exercise on how they would respond in the event of a nuclear disaster. Units from the Army, New Taipei government, and the National Power Company are practicing what to do if the Jinsan nuclear plant lost all power before getting hit by torrential rain and an earthquake. The drill includes securing pools containing spent fuel rods, monitoring radiation levels, and airlifting supplies to nearby residents. The Jinsan plant stopped generating power in 2019 and is currently being decommissioned. Taiwan has just 1 nuclear plant still in operation, which is scheduled to close next year as the government plans to end the use of nuclear power. Taiwan's exports hit an all-time monthly high of nearly $44 billion in August. That's largely thanks to growing demand for the high-end chips powering artificial intelligence. The trend also presents a geopolitical shift, pulling the U.S. market closer to Taiwan than that of China's. Joyce Zeng explains.
Leaning into its advantage as the world's largest chipmaker, Taiwan is reaching new heights for its economy. Exports rose to a record $43.6 billion, exceeding market forecasts as demand for AI and high-performance computing remains strong. Breaking it down by country, a new record was also set in exports to the U.S. This figure soared almost 80% to hit $11.8 billion, giving the U.S. a continued lead over China as the top destination for Taiwanese exports, especially its very expensive advanced chips.
It's confirming and I would say even deepening Taiwan's kind of monosectoral economy. Yeah, it is chips and chips and chips, just that more valuable chips. It's good news, but it's a warning signal of a very concentrated sector, but also a very concentrated destination, the U.S.
The U.S. leads the global market in the design and software of advanced chips, like the ones for AI. With giants like NVIDIA, AMD, and major consumer electronics brands like Apple that just revealed its latest iPhone equipped with new AI capabilities, the U.S. is the main initiator behind this boom. These are all customers of TSMC, which is reporting an August revenue boost of 33%, hitting $7.8 billion US. The scale of this is clear in Taiwan's export numbers, namely in this category, automatic data processing machinery. It's a broad category within computers, but it includes things like central processing units and helps computers process more things at a faster pace. And this is the hardware AI demands. Taiwan's exports to the U.S. in this category in August dwarfs the amount that went to China at $5.9 billion versus a mere $39 million. Some economists are concerned that Taiwan may be putting all of its eggs into the AI basket, a hot sector for now, but one that has yet to stand the test of time. Eason Chen and Joyce Sin for TaiwanPlus.
For more on the long-term outlook of Taiwan's economy, especially given its reliance on the high-tech sector, Joyce Zeng spoke to Nick Maro, the lead global trade analyst at the Economist Intelligence Unit.
How significant is this new monthly high in Taiwanese exports going to the U.S. and also its relation to the rate of shipments going to China?
Yeah, well, the latest trade figures really validate the bullish expectations that we have for the Taiwanese economy. We're expecting real GDP growth to exceed 4% this year, and a lot of that reflects what's happening in the trade picture. And really, Taiwan's incredibly competitive positioning in global value chains when it comes to chip making. We've been seeing trade patterns in Northeast Asia start to shift over the past couple of quarters. And shipments to China and Hong Kong, those shipments are still an incredibly important part of the export basket for Taiwan. But when we look at the U.S. is really a growing source of demand here, and it's changing how kind of the world thinks about Taiwan in terms of its relationship with the rest of the world.
In your view, is Taiwan in danger of relying too much on the high-tech sector, especially chips, for its economy?
That's one of the big risks that we would kind of attach as a caveat for this very positive story for growth. It's never a great thing to just be beholden to one industry. And as bright as the optics look like for technology, I mean, anytime there's going to be any disruptions to that or demand's not going to perform as well as people anticipated, there'll be consequences. Looking into 2025, that's the big risk for kind of the immediate future for Taiwan. I mean, depending on who wins the US election, we could see US policy turn a bit more protectionist, and Taiwan is very much in the crosshairs there. As a trade-dependent economy, the policies coming out of the White House could have a disproportionate effect. So keeping a close eye on what happens in November is going to be important for Taiwan as well.
That was Nick Maro, lead global trade analyst at the Economist Intelligence Unit. Taipei has hosted an international police conference with representatives from 32 countries. The meeting comes as the government works to tackle a surge in domestic fraud cases. Scams reportedly cost Taiwan close to 1% of its GDP last year. At the forum, Taiwan's premier said it was important for countries to work together to fight cross-border crime, especially when new technology is involved.
包括人工智慧等等的新兴的科技发展，不仅产业科技业在用，歹徒诈骗集团也在用，因此我们要强化我们手中的科技能力，提高我们的科技执法。
New Taipei has overtaken Taipei as the country's most expensive place to live. The median rent there is now close to $400 a month. That's double what renters in southern Taiwan cities like Tainan pay. Though actual rents vary by district, realtors say new housing, amenities, and infrastructure like metro lines are driving up prices.
新北有一些区域，因为整体的升级跟发展的关系，会带入了一些新的外地人口、新的公司聚集的区域。那自然而然的话，它在周边的需求带动之下，也会让这个租金的行情呈现一个相对比较强势的表现。
Taiwan's school children are the most overweight in Asia. That's according to recent figures published by Taiwan's health ministry as they try to bring more public attention to the issue of childhood obesity. Reese Ayers reports.
School children across Taiwan are facing a crisis of health and nutrition as the country's youth claim the undesirable title of the most overweight in Asia. It's a problem with serious medical consequences.
有些10几岁，他因为体重过重了，就产生高血糖、糖尿病的都有呢。我碰过小孩子就开始在吃那个糖尿病的药了。
Despite a slight drop in rates compared to last year, figures from Taiwan's Health Promotion Administration show that a quarter of primary school students are overweight, a proportion that increases to 30% for students in junior high. It's a multifaceted issue, as medical professionals try to dispel the myth that children naturally grow out of their baby fat, while also driving home the importance of regular exercise.
建议学童每天累积60分钟的中度身体活动那每周希望累积能够达到420分钟。那借由这个规律的运动的维持，能够来促进儿童的一个健康。
Health experts are also pointing to the fact that school lunches are often nutritionally imbalanced and are encouraging parents to try to do more food prep at home. But with an abundance of fast food restaurants and convenience stores selling cheap processed meals and after-school snacks, temptation is on every street corner, making it difficult for children to make healthy choices. Ryan Wu and Reese Ayres in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Some of the country's top athletes are being recruited by the government to help launch a new sports ministry. The initiative was floated by President Liao in his inauguration speech. It's hoped the new ministry will help bring Taiwan to the world and the world to Taiwan, as John Van Trieste now reports.
Judo champion Yang Yongwei spars with students at National Taiwan University of Sport. He's here to promote sport as Taiwan marks National Physical Education Day. Though these students have watched him compete on TV, most recently at the Paris Olympics, seeing his moves in person is eye-opening for them. Taiwan hopes to train students like these into the next generation of sporting greats.
But
the government thinks training sessions like this aren't enough. It wants to replace the existing sports administration with a full-blown sports ministry that will promote athletic excellence and promote Taiwan's global presence in other ways, like winning the right to host big sporting events. President Liao first came out with the idea in May during his inaugural address, and there are signs it could be founded next year. As Yang practiced with students, other big sporting names, including Olympic gold medalists Lin Yuting and Li Yang, met with Premier Zhou Rongtai. They've been named members of a committee to set up the ministry. Zhuo says officials want to know what those who've been on the podium think about the project.
在内对今天的咨询小组都非常的重视，我们也都希望能够在尽快的时间内来看到、来听到我们咨询小组对政府的提出的种种的建议。
The government hopes the new ministry will promote exercise, but also put Taiwan in the global spotlight as the home of world-class athletes and the host of world-class competitions. Klein Wang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
There have been more sightings of several species of birds of prey in southern Taiwan, thanks to a special project between the local government and farmers. Sandy Chi has this story.
An eastern grass owl is spotted for the first time on the plains of the Galping River in Kaohsiung in southern Taiwan. This remarkable sighting is just one of a growing number. The area has also seen the arrival of a variety of other birds of prey, including the collared scops owl and the black-winged kites. The population of these bird species in southern Taiwan has surged, with sightings jumping from just 17 to over 100 in the past few years. That is thanks to the joint efforts of Kaohsiung's government and local farmers. Together, they've built nearly 100 perches throughout the area.
我们跟农民一起合作，累计设置了共93只的猛禽栖架。在去年度，我们共计拍摄到了猛禽有127次。
These perches are part of a Forestry Bureau scheme launched in 2022. The initiative pays ecosystem wages to people who help protect the habitats of vulnerable species. Farmer Hua Mengsheng is one of those involved in the program, and he's also working with academic institutions, helping them set up 2 more observation perches. He has not only seen scops owls and other birds of prey in his fields, but also witnessed how these birds help him manage his farm.
以前那个老鼠啊，因为这边会养羊嘛，养鸡会有饲料啊，他们老鼠会来吃啊，然后你发现到你有栖架以后，然后那些老鼠突然间就少了非常多。
Now with perches set up across Kaohsiung, people taking part in the project are looking to make southern Taiwan ground zero for a more biodiverse and environmentally sustainable Taiwan. Scott Huang and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
And we'd like to thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally today we take you to Japan, where 2 specialist cleaners are giving the world's tallest bronze Buddha its annual spruce up. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.